Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the Wednesday Reboot. Something cool today. It's kind of toy related. And this is one of my friends from high school. He's got a new movie coming out, and I wanted to share his story and show the trailer for his movie, or for the Indiegogo for his movie, and then we'll go over everything in it. Now, I had to shoot this on a different platform than StreamYard, which I usually shoot it on, because we couldn't get it to link up for some reason. So bear with us. I mean, it's clear. It sounds okay. It's just sometimes our images go like this because of how it was recorded, because we had our stuff turned sideways. So, yeah, thanks for watching in advance, and check it out. This is my friend, Alan Maxson, Alien Planet. Not super toy related, but this guy was a toy, so check this out. He was one of the biggest selling toys at one point in time. So check it out. We get into that. And yeah, without further ado, here is Alan Maxson.
I wish. No, but we're here to talk about your new movie. And like we were just saying, I was honored that you reached out. And anything I can do to help a friend promote something, like a true friend, in something that I'm interested in, I'm going to jump on board. And like you were worried that there wasn't going to be toy talk. But ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here was one of the biggest toys last year or the year before. It was within the last 2 years.
It's true.
One of the biggest figure arts toys made. So
Physically.
yeah, he was I can't ever say it. Ghidorah?
King Ghidorah or Ghidra.
Ghidorah.
There's a bunch
Yeah.
of different pronunciations.
The three-headed monster right here. But yeah, did you get all the toys that came out?
Not all of them, because I know there is it Spirit or Spiral? There's one of those ones where it was like $3,000, and I was like,
Jesus.
I don't have $3,000. But I got the SH Monster Arts one. I got the X Plus, which is probably my favorite one. The Defo Real one, where he's got like his heads are bigger than his body.
Now, did anyone use scans from your actual heads, from the three of you?
For the figures?
Yeah, for any of them?
Oh no, because it looks like a dragon and not us. But
well, not really. Yeah, I could tell when I was watching the movie.
well, I think what I'm guessing they did by how they do it is, since our faces were filmed and recorded, and they used our faces as reference and movement and capture in the film, whatever their final CG render was for that, I imagine that's what they sent to the toy companies. So,
okay.
So I guess by maybe third party. Yes.
I was like, yeah, for sure. That's so
But it's
cool.
funny you say that, because the first time when I saw the movie, there's a few moments in it where I saw something that my head reacted to the center head, and I was just like, whoa, that was me for sure. And that was
so
definitely
cool.
That was a surprise, because that was, it's, I've done so many monster characters, and when it's makeup, you can tell it's me. When it's CG, I was like, a dragon is a very different CG than a humanoid character, but you could definitely see it in the movie.
Yeah, no, I was like, holy crap. It was really cool, dude. Just because, like, so something you may not know. So I didn't have like a whole lot of, like, the crew that we had when we were in high school was really awesome to me, because you guys were like my big brothers. You guys kind of crafted what I am in a way. So it was like you, Josh, and Rick. I'm pretty sure, like, those three, like, you guys, because you guys were always kind to people. You were always creative and didn't care what people thought, but along the way, always supporting each other. So I think, like, in retrospect, looking back, a lot of that I pulled from the people who I was with, who I looked up to. I mean, it was only a year older, but I still looked up to you guys, and you guys welcomed me in with all my craziness, and you're just like, "Come here, kid," like, you know.
Because we're all a bunch of misfits, and it's like,
Right.
you said we just didn't care what other people thought, and it's because we're misfits. Well, how can we care? We're all fucking stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, I doubt that you guys know how much you did for like me and Troy, like, and Matthew too. He was a little bit older than even you guys, and like how much you guys did, like bringing us up. There was never any like we never competed against each other. It was always helping each other. Like it was really if it was competing, it was fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I appreciate that more than anything. Like if I never get a chance to tell you guys that because we don't really chat a whole lot, you know.
Right. Well, thank
But
you. I
you
feel
know,
the same too. Like it's feelings are mutual. Even though like I didn't look at you as a big brother because it's funny that we say you're a year younger, a year older. Like that's nothing. But in high school, it feels
now,
like sometimes.
yeah.
But it's like it was the same. Like you were in football. You're the one that should have been giving me swirlies, but you were like, no, bro, let's hang out. So it's like
Yeah.
it was a great, and that's really like I fucking hate high school. Like I would never want to go back ever. But I look back at our time in choir in the musicals as like my fondest childhood memories. Like it was so
Dude,
much.
and it's so perfect what you're doing now because in the musicals, like you were never like the top like build character. You were always the crazy most like no one else could do that role. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
could have, but it wouldn't have been like you always got laughs, dude. Every time. Like like that's what I remember. Like it was always like Josh or Matt would get like the number one, or even Troy was for one of them, and it was always like you always had like the best. Like everyone was waiting for your character to come back, like for the next scene. You know what I mean?
I was always
Like
the bit part. Like I'm almost like the Jane Silent Bob of movies, where
yeah,
I'm not the main character at all, but people want to see them more.
dude. And then okay, so I was gonna ask you, because we're gonna get into Alien Planet. We're gonna show a little clip and stuff like that. And then so I just wanted to ask you, like, so when people ask you, like, what's your 9 to 5, and like, you know, how weird is that? Like, because when people ask me, like, what do you do? Because I usually don't say my job because I feel like you want to talk about your passion, but I feel like your job is your passion. So I never want to be labeled as my job, even though I love my job. But I always like I paint toys and I do
Right.
toy photography, or like when I used to do like all the cosplay and stuff, I would be like, yeah, I dress up in spandex. So what, like, does that feel weird to you, or is it? Do you think like some of our past makes it okay, like makes you feel confident when you explain it to people?
I think kind of that's a lot of questions all in one. I think
What?
everything. I think all of what you've said kind of leads up to that. Our past definitely leads to where I'm at currently, but also at the same time, you talk about day job is I do have also a side job. I edit television as well. So
Right. Okay.
I've been working in post production for 14 or 15 years now, and when
Oh
I'm
wow,
not
I didn't
when
even
I'm
know
not
that because we don't, we don't
yeah,
talk about that.
and I don't promote it because my eventual goal is I want to be a creature actor and filmmaker full time, and leave editing in the past. But it's a process, and I'm working my way up to it. But for the last 15 years, I've edited. I guarantee you TV shows you've seen on TV for cable or major networks, whatever. And I got to tell you, during 2020, editing saved my life because
Right.
everything shut down, and I'm currently editing a show called In Ice Cold Blood, hosted by Ice-T. And it's a crime
So
show.
great.
You're right, it's a crime show. So it's literally talking heads. It's like cops and survivors and victim families talking about the murder, and then we cover it with B-roll. So that was easy to keep going during the pandemic because you're just shooting one person in a chair. Whereas like all the big monster things that I normally work on, there's a huge crew with makeup and all this. Those all kind of went away this last year. And
Yeah.
so I like to joke, but it's serious, is Ice-T saved my 2020.
Hey man, that's awesome. You should. I think that should be merch. I feel like.
And this goes back to the first part where I said it all kind of combines. The editing combines and helps with my other things where when I'm acting, a lot of creature stuff, it's shot in a way that I have to understand the filmmaking part of it, not just the acting. You have to be a good actor and you have to be well aware and in the moment and a character in your head, but you also have to be aware of how they're planning on shooting it with the camera, how they're planning on cutting it together, because a lot of the special effects and stuff are done in a way that you have to be aware of that. And so my editing knowledge definitely comes into play with that. And even filmmaking with Alien Planet in my past films that I directed, dude, I think the best way to be a good director is to be an editor because
Right.
you have to shoot for the edit. You have
Yeah.
to shoot for that thing. And so, I truly think those three things, filmmaking, acting, and editing, all merged to, I
Yeah.
think, my last 15 years, it's all been right there, just
It sounds crazy.
merging
Oh,
together.
you went out to California. How old were you when you went out there?
It was 07. I left Michigan in 05, and I went to Florida for 2 years. And then in 07, I went to California.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember Troy was already out there, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can't believe you guys we both performed all the time. I don't know why I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are in every single thing.
I actually give a lot of props to Miss Ludi because
Oh yeah.
I think I did maybe one thing with Miss Gilbert, but I actually didn't work with her a lot.
You didn't?
I did not.
So you were okay. You were just mostly in the musicals then.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That high school. What year was that? That was 1989 through 90 or through 2003. That's over 20 years ago.
So long ago, dude. Oh man, that's true. No, but yeah. So what I've been seeing a lot of is you're doing stuff where you're like crawling through the sand with like crazy arms. Like, what is that?
It's called a quadruped, and it's quadruped walking, like animals. So humans walk biped, four-legged animals walk quadruped. And the coach for this is Terry Notary, who he played Kong in Kong Skull Island, and he played Rocket in the Planet of the Apes movies. And he also invented the arms and coaches all of the movement for every actor in the Planet of the Apes films. And so myself and a group of 10 or less people go out 4 days a week with Terry, and we hit the trails and we do workouts on them every single.
So is there something coming up that you're not telling me that you're working on?
If there was, I couldn't tell you.
Because that's strange that you'd be going with him to do these things when there's a new movie coming out and stuff.
So this particular training is not for a particular movie, but it does help with future movies and potential other
when
ones.
They call him, like, who do you got? Alan Maxson. Yeah, yes. I like it.
Yes. So, that would be awesome, and it would be a dream come true. But at the current moment, it's just a training thing, and dude, it's so physically awesome. Like, I've gotten so strong. I've never been so physically.
I was gonna ask you about that too, like what it takes. Like, people think it's just makeup, like creature stuff. It's not. Like, and that's just from a suit acting position where I had to put on spandex. Like, you had to be in somewhat eating right, doing stuff right, like.
And it's a mental thing too. So not only do you have to be physically strong, because, so example, with the arm extensions, when I first started training on them, because you're using your entire body to walk on all fours, and he has us, galloping and sprinting, and now we're up to the point where we're towing sandbags up sand dunes. And
I saw some of the stuff and I was like, what is going on?
When I first started, I would do a 2-hour workout, and then literally, not exaggerating, the rest of my day I was sleeping because I was dead. Now I'm at the point where I've done 10 miles on all fours, and I'm up the rest of the day.
Holy cow.
And I do 4 days a week. We do roughly 3 to 4 miles every morning, and roughly, give or take, 400 push-ups and 400 dips on the arm extensions every morning with those 3 miles. And After that, I come home and I stand and edit for 10 hours. So that tells you how strong of a difference from the first time I did it compared to going. Is it just it just keeps building. But then I mentioned it's not only strength but it's mind. Most of these suits are very claustrophobic. So like when I'm in a suit, like I did one this last weekend where
I've seen people freak out, man.
you yes, I've replaced, I would say maybe 25% of my jobs. I get a call saying, "Hey, we hired somebody, they've never done it before, and we thought they could just get in a suit and do it, and we were wrong, and we need a professional who does this for a living." And I've replaced many people because of claustrophobia. And like this last weekend, I did a job where my only vision was through a nostril hole like this big, and it was a night shoot. So like you really have to just like get into a zen place. You have to be aware of your surroundings, muscle memory. You have to be able to like follow through a little hole, like shadows. Like there's a lot to it depending on the suit you're wearing. So
So how do you get into like that? Say like they want you to be like a crazy beast and it's freaking noon and they give you a call but they need you at 7 to be this monster. Like how do you bring that out? Like
just like
with that little bit of time.
just like any other acting job, I always say it's just like human acting, where no matter what the character is, it has a history, it has intentions, it has a thought process. Even if it's like animalistic and its desire is just to shred it apart, you have to go a little bit deeper and think, okay, so if it's animalistic, what would make, like, say, a lion? Why would a lion be hunting something? Most likely it's hungry.
Hungry.
And
Yeah.
if it's hungry, does it mean it hasn't fed in a while? Is it bare out there? Is it hard to get? So how are you going to approach attacking this college kid? You know, that's how a lot of
Sounds so
monsters
much
are.
fun.
Like you have to think, what's the motivation? It's probably, oh, this cabin in the woods doesn't get many visitors, so this monster knows this is why one shot at a meal for the next month. I can't fail. So you think about these things. It's just like human acting. If it's a love story, like why is this guy chasing down the girl? Maybe he's had bad luck and a history of divorces. He can't let this girl go because he may not meet another one for 10 more years. It's the same process to get into the character, just different characters is all.
Yeah, psyche, yeah. No, you said and then when you're doing what the quote unquote regular acting, your last one was that the last one that you sent to me that I saw on Amazon? The old school 1940s, 50s. I might
Yeah,
be off, but
that was a movie called A Dead Dame in Hollywood.
yes, it still like comes up on my Amazon thing. Like, so I see a picture of you with the hat and the suit.
That's funny. That movie was so goofy. It was done
It was
super
fun, but really
super
cool.
low budget. Yeah, it was done
Yeah.
for like basically no money, but it was written like Naked Gun basically. And I was the Leslie Nielsen type character where something ridiculous would happen, and I'd just be like, "Is this really going on in this world?" Like, so
Yeah, and the one lady was really good. She's a really good actress. Darker hair. She was kind of like, was she
was
like
she
your
my
buddy
sidekick?
cop kind of? Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Allie, she's great. She
Oh my goodness, dude.
yeah,
Wow.
she's very good. She actually, I met her. She hired me on a monster movie years ago, and we clicked, and we've worked on many things since. So she's very talented.
She's very, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, like she kind of stole it away from you at some points. I was like, oh, like yeah, no, it was fun, and it was exactly. I wasn't expecting it, but then once I saw, I was like, this is exactly what he would do. Like this is a role for you. Like it was really funny, and you guys like you hit that old feel, but still making the new school jokes along
Yeah,
the way, to where like it just vibed really well, and that's not easy to do. I'm guessing, like writing, yeah, because it came out
well,
perfect.
thank you, dude. Yeah, the director and writer of that, Sean, he's a good writer. He knows what to put down on paper, and director too. He brought out of us like a great performance from everybody. So I can't wait to see what he does next. He's got talent for sure.
Yeah, and now like watching the new like WandaVision, like that kind of reminds me of that because of the
Oh,
feel. You know what I mean? Like you know how they're I don't know if you've seen any of
I
it, but
haven't
they're
seen it
going
yet.
So they're going like 50s, 60s, 70s until they go into color. So they're like doing it, but they're doing it like it's one of those shows, like I Love Lucy, and like
Oh,
you know
that's
what I mean.
cool.
Like, it is cool now that we're getting into like the fourth and fifth season or episode and stuff. Well, when this comes out, 6 and 7, So
Right. That's cool. Yeah. I'm glad you watched that. Yeah, that was a fun one. That we shot that for a long time. That took us like 2 years to make because we did it on weekends just when we were available. So
cool.
if you watch like my hair length goes
Pay
it's
attention.
from like scene to scene, my hair is so different. And there's times where I have double and I don't. And like even watch my cheeks. Like I lose weight throughout the movie, but it's shot out of order. So it looks like certain scenes I'm a little bit thinner, and then other ones I'm like got more cheeks. But it's because we took 2 years to shoot it.
That's so cool though that it still got put together. I would have lost either focus or ambition to get it done. Like that's really cool. That means like something was still burning for you guys to, complete it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. All right, so let's talk about Alien Planet. Well, right here, I will show the trailer.
Two alien species with a history of hatred and oppression.
You always were the worst species. That's why we shoot you all out, come in.
Separated by two different planets with the same problem.
We only have enough water for another week. For the entire planet! No kind are out too. None of us will survive.
Rakechi may have the solution they both need.
The key to creating sustainable drinking water. You must find it before the Kameen do. Our civilization depends on it.
But their hate for each other is not the only danger. Prejudices must be set aside in order to survive.
What did you do with Kyrie? I'll kill you! Give me the vial, Brooksy.
This alien planet.
All right, so
And we just saw the trailer.
we just saw the trailer. What are your thoughts? So for me, I think like what I've seen so far now, this is just what you guys are putting out to get the funding for it. But from what I've seen, I love like the old school, and I told you how I like the monster hands coming in. Now, is it gonna be like that? Will you please keep it like that
Well, it
to
depends
a
on
point?
it depends on the budget.
Right.
So the whole
'Cause that
point
made me
of-
laugh. That made me be like, oh, it's so cool. Like, you know what I mean? It was like a throwback too.
Right. Well, it depends. Like if I can raise, so if somehow magically I could get like 80 grand, this movie can look awesome. But
Right.
if I don't have enough backers and I raise 10 to 20 grand, I may have to keep hands like that because hands are cheaper than a whole monster suit. So
I think it brings something to it in a weird way.
it
Also,
does.
I don't know.
It does.
I don't know. I get what you're saying. Like you want the best option available, but that to me is like really funny. And then how like there's all this back and forth about the water and this and that and how they're at each other's necks, and then just with one look, they're best friends and they're dueling together. Like that's so cool.
Well, it's also too, so that scene of them looking at each other and it's kind of like we have to put our differences aside and work together. That scene was altered for the trailer so that it was quick and easy to see within a moment of the story
Right.
of they need to come together. In the script, it's a more detailed step by step them getting to come together. And and the thing that I did cool with the trailer was I altered stuff slightly so that it can be told more efficiently within that minute and 20 seconds. Because
That's so rough. It's so
yeah,
hard.
because that's short. And you
Yeah.
can't tell 70 pages. My script is 70 pages. You can't tell that in a minute and 20 seconds. So I definitely altered stuff and I wrote things slightly different for the trailer to get the point across. And I think if you like the trailer, that's awesome, because I don't think the trailer even gives it justice of what it's going to be once it's funded and you see the whole movie. So if that makes you happy, then I can't wait for you to see the final thing.
Yeah, dude. No, it was really cool. Even the makeup on. So you're one of them, right?
I'm not.
You're not? I
No.
thought you were the one that was like dying or whatever. Like, I thought that was you. I
Nope.
was like, hey.
I wish I was in it so bad, but it's such a huge undertaking for this film that I can't act and direct at the same time. Like, the story is so grand, the makeup is so big, there's so much going on in it that I have to focus on just making the movie. So
That's cool too, though, because obviously you have the top of the line monster actors with you. You know, people that you trust that would carry this. You know, so that's
Absolutely.
awesome too.
Yep. I have, at people that want to work on this, I have the best makeup artists, the best actors, the best camera people. Like, I have everybody at my side. So it's gonna be awesome. And I'm grateful that all these people want to be involved. That's
Well, if we get this going, I want to come out for a background scene, man.
Dude. There is
On a cool alien with a beard, like that guy from Walking Dead, Ryan Hurst. He does like
yes. So here's the thing. I have one flashback scene where it's a mass murder. It's like a war scene of one species killing the others, and it's going to be awesome. And I will need tons of people to die.
To get killed.
But here's the kicker. That particular scene, I need the most money for. So everybody out there who wants to back, put money in this, and your reward is you get to see Wentworth killed as an alien.
Down. I will make it happen. I've been out there for less. So February 19th today.
Yes.
So where can people go? We got Instagram, we got Twitter, we got Facebook. All that will be down in the description, and they also can go to
the Indiegogo page itself.
Okay.
And all those links are in the comments as well, or your description.
Description.
Right there, guys. Right there. Is that how we do? We point and it goes blink, blink.
Yeah.
But yeah, on all the social medias, it's Alien Planet Film, and that's on, like you said, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and there'll be links. I'm gonna spam the hell out of it, so you can't miss the Indiegogo page.
Awesome.
And if you guys, and here's the thing, I want to pitch it. I want to tell you guys, anyone who's listening, you've all seen Indiegogo pages. You've seen all filmmakers going, I want to make my movie. It's a million things you've heard. But here's the thing, is this movie, it genuinely needs as much help as it can get, because as you saw in the trailer, there's no humans at all. It's all aliens, monsters. Those things are so expensive. I cannot make this movie without the right amount of money. And the way I say it to other people is, if I don't get money, it's going to look like a Star Trek Klingon, where literally it's just makeup here. And that won't cut it. It's got to look like this trailer. It's got to look like this trailer. And so if you want to get it made, please help. I have awesome things on there. So example, the best perk that I like to promote is for only $100, you get the movie itself, and you get to be an associate producer on screen and on IMDb, and you get a digital bundle of all these behind the scenes stills, all this crap. $100, that's it. And if you're like a physical collector like me, I have a giant collection of Blu-rays because I like to spend my money like an idiot. There's another perk you can get with the Blu-ray and stuff like that. So $100 is not a lot. Like, that's pretty good to get a movie made. And I know, yes, to watch a movie, you can rent it for $3, but this movie, unlike those ones, won't exist if you don't help. So that's where I say, like, please, if you can afford it, like, put any money you can, and it will get made. And then you're not going to see movies like this on Disney Plus, I'll tell you that.
So what is it going to be rated? Is there a rating?
Well, that depends. That depends on distribution. But if I had to guess, based on the trailer, it'd probably get an R rating, because there's a lot of blood in that trailer.
Okay. Okay.
So, but there's no nudity. There's no swearing. All their swearing is actually.
Wait, there's not gonna be any alien nudity, dude. What the heck? Can we get enough funding for alien nudity?
Yes. All right.
Please.
I'll tell you right now, everybody listening, if I raise 50 grand or more, I will get alien nudity in it.
Yes.
I promise.
That's what they want.
I promise. If you guys
We
give
got
me
all the
50 grand
weirdos
or
on
more,
here, man.
I'll hold my word to it. Alien nudity for 50 grand.
Yes.
Um,
I've seen some of those Star Wars ones where they have like the prints and stuff. Like I'm like, what? Yeah,
I
it's
don't
crazy.
think Disney approves of those.
No, probably not. No, they probably do not. No, I think you're so creative, man, and I hope that you get like, and I know people right now are struggling with money too, so it's a really hard time for you to pitch it, and that takes a lot of guts. I mean, to do it now, and you're going through it as well. Like you personally are going through what others are going through. So, I mean, this is fun, and if we can't fix what's going on, like I always say, and what Empire Toy Works, what I got from him, if you can't fix what's going on in this world, create your own. You're creating something that can take us out of this for an hour and a half to 2 hours. You know what I mean?
And it's a true escape because in this movie, there are no humans. There's no Earth. This movie is truly escaping from our current world.
Yeah. What a better time to do that, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, no, it looked fun. What's your favorite character?
Well,
so you wrote everything, right? Most of it?
I wrote all of it, yeah.
All of it. Okay.
Yep.
So who is you? Because one of them has to be you in some way.
I think there's a little bit of me in all of the characters.
Oh, boy.
Well, dabs. I take bits and pieces from other people and things I know, but when you create something, I don't think you can create anything without a little bit of yourself in it. And so, I think there's a little bit of me or just people in my life in every character, but my favorite character is Gairi, which is the puppet character you see in it. And that is a lot of influence from Zira. Because she was there next to me while I was writing the whole thing. So like a lot of how Gairi acts is like Zira, and but it's almost like Zira meets Critters meets Gremlins. Like that's kind of how that character.
Crazy. Yeah, I got fuzz. No, I saw a lot of Gremlin feel in it. Just for the whole couple seconds, but no, it was really cool. I'm excited for it for sure.
What was your favorite character in that trailer?
I really like the pause coming in, but I also like the guy who was like bleeding and blubbling, you know, just so kind of the same, man.
So the pause that you saw, that's a dweller. The dweller is the Wampa of that world.
Awesome.
And so it's funny because if you actually look frame by frame, it's shot pretty much just like the Wampa attack when he knocks Luke off the top.
And like through the thing, like someone's peering in. That was pretty cool. Like
in the hand swiping, and like that's very Wampa like, and that was the influence.
It is. Actually, we use the Wampa hands.
Yeah, I called George up and I was like, "Hey George, can I borrow those Wampa arms?" And he was like, actually, Walt has them, so here's his cell." And it was weird. Walt answered. I don't know how.
He's super cold right now. He's super cold. He's just in his tank, like taking calls. It's possible. Yeah, I think that you're gonna need a toy line and merch. Are you guys doing any merch ideas for it?
Tons.
Is that part of the tiers?
Yep, we have shirts, enamel pins, DVDs, Blu-rays. What else do I have in there? The script. And actually, I just thought of another perk that I'm gonna add now. I'm gonna add a perk so you can buy the Wampa hands.
That'd be so cool. Like little sticks with them. That'd be so cool. Just
So-
make them out of foam.
And the highest perk is actually I'm selling the Gyri puppet that's actually used in that trailer. So if you're a prop collector or specifically puppets, because I know a lot of people who love to collect like Gremlins and Critters puppets and stuff, like this one's a great one to add to the collection. And I'm also
Awesome.
I have a perk in there for selling the guns used in the trailer. So you can, like, anyone who wants screen used stuff. I also have perks for Puppet Master fans because I played Blade in the most recent Puppet Master movie. So
I didn't do that. I know that you've done like Stormtrooper stuff. Like,
yeah, I
Sith
played
Trooper, Sith
a
Trooper.
Sith Trooper at the red carpet for Rise of Skywalker.
That was
No loitering.
Sorry, I just came from a movie premiere.
And what were you watching?
I was watching the new Star Wars movie.
Never heard of it. Move on.
that was pretty awesome.
Dude, that was a dream come true, being a big Star Wars fan.
Well, and you did a Stormtrooper a long time ago, right? Like for just to build the suit personally.
Yeah, I built the suit, but that wasn't for anything official.
Yeah, I know, but that's like crazy. Like from that to doing it. I mean, I think it's as real as it can get. I mean, it's not on screen, but it's pretty damn close.
Yes, I agree.
Like I would have died. Do you get to put that on your IMDb?
The Sith Trooper one, yeah, because that was for the official. That was official Star Wars during the red carpet and stuff. So that
And they filmed it, right? They filmed like parts of that.
Yep,
Yeah.
there's like I think there's a couple mini docs on it on the Verizon because it was like a Verizon thing. It was basically advertising their 5G. For all you QAnons, 5G. But
Oh God.
it's actually freaking impressive because what we did was we were in a motion capture soundstage 20 miles away from the Hollywood red carpet. 20 miles is a long distance. And
But you're interacting with the people there.
we had a screen watching them and we had earpieces to talk to them. And it was live. Motion capture. It looked screen accurate. So impressive. And to think it was no lag time. It was secondly. I just heard one of my action figures fall. It was like
It's a
to the
big
second
problem.
accurate. It is a big problem, especially in California with all the.
Yeah. Dude, hot glue. Just tap a little bit of hot glue and put them down because that can peel right off. You know.
Yep. But it was so impressive that you can send live screen accurate motion capture 20 miles to interact within seconds. Like it was crazy. So that to
I thought
me,
you
like,
guys were really there. I thought you were really there.
so did they.
I did.
They all thought we were in a room next door.
Yeah, it looked like it.
I actually
That's
had
big.
coffee with. I was having coffee with an actor named Chris Barlett. He plays a handful of characters in The Mandalorian. He played the flute guy, Zero, the bounty hunter, and the droid teacher, like a handful of them in the show. And when we're talking, he was like, "Oh, I actually interacted with you. You harassed my wife and I on the red carpet."
You're like, what?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, small world." I was like, "That's awesome." So they thought we were there, and he said it too. He's like, "I thought you guys were in a room next door."
I did too. I wasn't even there. I just saw it on the screen. I was like, oh, that's cool, man. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So like the moment I did it, I was like, "I want a 5G phone because that shit is impressive."
It sold you, yeah. You're like, hell yeah. So you had on the helmet and you had a mic inside, and that like no claustrophobia. That was
It was
your.
all motion capture, so we weren't wearing suits. It was just. the
You had no
goggles.
helmet. Oh, okay. Another script. You do that a lot, right?
Yeah. Well, I do it here and there, but I think I get a ton more practical. I'd say 90% of my jobs are practical makeup and suits, but I've had a handful of motion capture ones as well because motion capture is huge. It's growing.
Yeah, I
It's
thought
been
you.
growing. I mean, it's not growing. It's here. It's been here for a while.
Yeah. No, I do like Real too. I'm a fan of Real, and like with Power Rangers, like one of my biggest things is like when they're in the suits, the Zords, and they're fighting, like huge robots are just fighting. Like there's people in there, and that's awesome. And like when they started kind of making it more CGI and stuff, now it's not as much fun. So, but they're getting back into it, it seems like, and that's mostly Sentai stuff. So it's mostly Japan footage that we're seeing.
Well, they shoot a lot of the new Power Rangers, I believe, in New Zealand.
Right, yeah, for Power Rangers, but like they're
not
still,
the other.
yeah, they're still getting the Sentai footage in. So they use a lot of their stock footage of like the Zords.
I got a movie I gotta ask you about because you're a big fan of Sentai and Kaiju and like the Japan type. I guess would you call Sentai Japan superheroes? Is that what you would call
Sure,
it?
yeah, Metal Heroes, whatever, yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Death Kappa?
I don't think so. Doesn't sound
Watch
familiar.
it. It's hilarious and amazing. Basically, a Kappa like befriends this girl and like grows to be a giant kaiju and attacks the city. And it's wacky, but it's awesome.
That's like some Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds good. No, I'm into anything, like anything that can take me away. Like I said, I'll like when we could rent movies, I would get some that were like Blockbuster, B, C, D. I didn't care. If Nicolas Cage is in it though, I'm probably gonna rent it, no matter what. Like no matter how awful I just think it's everyone else's fault that's not good, you know? Like it can't be Nick Cage.
So if you like bad movies, you probably love like 90% of mine.
I haven't seen most of yours. Like I said, I saw the one that was on Amazon, right? And I think that's pretty much it, except for Godzilla. I didn't know you were in Puppet Master. I'm gonna have to watch it now. You have to give me a list, because I've never even checked out your like IMDb or like any of that stuff. Like because I just talked to you like I'm kind of fanboyed out that you're where you're at, you know?
Yeah.
And I still fanboy. I'm like, dude, it's so cool. And you're like, no, I can't believe it either. like when everyone was sending you stuff and you're like, this is crazy. Like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I don't really have a huge taste of that. Like a little bit when I was doing like suit acting, and we did some YouTube stuff. It wasn't really crazy, but it got like 1 million views. But I wasn't like a huge part of like production. I just showed up and I was in my suit and I did what I was told to do. And I did like a morph and that was it. Like you're full on like in it. Like and there's only a few people out there that are big for this stuff too. So it's a really like niche community, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Because and then I also want to jump into props. I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but props. So
Where are you?
Do you like making the props? Do you have someone else do it? Like how on hand are you with the props? Because that's part of like what your vision, right?
Yes. So for Alien Planet particularly, I did not physically make them, but I have reference drawings and reference pictures from other things, and that's what I give to the artists. So for the puppet, the makeup of the aliens, and also even the poster art that is on the campaign that you see, I hand drew everything. I had reference pictures from other posters, from other aliens, like colors, textures. I had pictures of trees for the type of texture I wanted for the skin. So I made like a PDF pamphlet of my vision and my sketches, and I gave that to the artist. And I said, here's what I envision and what I want. Can you make it actually look better? Because I can't draw and sculpt the way these artists can. But I can have a vision, and I can give them everything possible to help make it communicated the best. And so that's what I do. I'm kind of like it's like how when you watch the behind the scenes of like George Lucas during the Star Wars, is he does similar stuff like that. He's like, I have this idea, I want this and that and that, and then they come to him with a few options and he goes, yes, no, no, yes, you know. So IG-11 or IG-10,
whoever the first one was, it must have been 10. He had
was the first one.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna leave. No, he had his head was from the cantina thing. Yeah, like crazy stuff like that. Yeah. No, so I noticed there was smoke in the background. So to get like just a shot like that where the smoke's not going into the actors' faces, where it's going that way for the lighting to be right, that takes a lot of time. And you did just that for this trailer. Like little things like that grab my attention because I know how hard it is to do a photo with smoke in the background and timing and wind and lighting. It's tough, man. Like, I think that you guys put a lot into this trailer
Thank you. You want to know if
for what you
now-
had. You know what I mean? That's with zero funding. Is what I'm saying. Like,
Yes. And it's funny that you say the time it takes. Here's the thing that I have to brag about, because myself and everyone involved in the trailer, the whole crew and cast, did so awesome. You know how much it takes to do just a shot like that? We did that entire trailer in one day. That was 12 hours.
and you had how many locations? At least 4?
4 different locations, but they're all in the same location, but they look so drastically different, and we lit them to look different so that when you watch it, it looks like we shot it over a week.
Yeah. Well, and I only watched it twice, and I grabbed that much out of 2
Right.
minutes. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, like I said, a little minute trailer. And then you have to remember 15 seconds of that is Alien Planet, Alan Maxson, Alien Planet, Alan Maxson, Alien Planet. Like, that has to be in there too. So you have to cut some time off of your trailer just for so people know what they're looking at.
Right.
Like, that all comes into editing, which you do every day.
Right.
So it all circles back around.
Yes. We had a fog machine, and basically the assistant director, he was just holding it, and I'd be like, to the left, right there. And he would just spray the fog where we needed it. And the determiner of where the fog was, or how many shots had it, because I wanted fog in more shots, but the determiner of what shots had it was how long the extension cord was.
Oh man. You're like, that's what we're working with here, guys.
I bought the biggest extension cord I could find, and that determined where we could have fog.
And it works. No, and again, it's sometimes things happen that weren't intentional too, and it makes a difference. Like, back to photography, I was doing a shot, I don't know if you saw it, but I had like stormtroopers and I had a samurai stormtrooper.
I know the
Well,
exact one you're talking about.
I did it. I had this cool like vision of them coming out through the snow with the samurai in the front and the red smoke. Well, then after that, there was the spot where the red smoke lit, and that's where I got my favorite shot, was him silhouette with like fog behind him and like just this cool like smoke behind him. But that red in the snow was from my original thought, but the one that I ended up loving was the one afterwards with the debris that was left over, because it looked like blood in the snow, and I was like, yes, like that's a no-brainer. Like, but I didn't intend that to happen, and it happened, and I was like, that's the fun part about passion, art, all of like creativity. Yeah, yes. Another merch idea, just so you know. That's probably on a shirt.
A lot of that stuff happens, especially like, filming on set, because you have so many moving parts with so many people. Things don't go the way you want at all.
No.
And so you just have to roll with the punches, and sometimes stuff turns out. It's like, I heard this, either Sam Raimi said it or someone said it about Sam Raimi, I don't remember, but basically the way like his original Evil Dead was, the reason why people love all of the stuff that's in it is because his hands were tied with so many restrictions of money, location, time, and all that he had to get creative. And so that's why all the things were shot the way they were, and people love that. And I've heard a lot of interviews where people, maybe it was like film historians, I don't even know, some people say if he had all the money in the world and shot it the way he wanted, maybe it wouldn't have been the movie that people love.
Yeah, and then some things happen the other way. Like Rob Zombie had all the money in the world, but there's too many hands in the pot telling him how to use it when he was doing his stuff with Halloween, I think it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so that's why he was like, I'm done with that side of it. I want to do what I want to do with my friends and family. That's why he does everything like he does now.
Yeah.
Because he wanted that, and then once he got that, he was like, yeah, I don't want this. This isn't fun anymore, because too many hands are in the pot, and it just kind of.
Zombie, man.
Yeah, no, dude, I've watched interviews with him. Really good. He's done some really good ones. Like,
and
not He's
And
not
he's an
the
animal rights activist. He's a vegan and supports animal rights. Like, fuck yeah, Rob. Hell yeah.
yeah, dude, and he has killer music. So,
Dude.
he's
So-
still rocking out. He's still on stage, like killing it, like killing himself. Like,
I actually, it's blasphemy, but I like Rob Zombie's Halloweens better than John Carpenter's.
oh boy, that's gonna ruffle some feathers.
I love them. They're dark and crazy, and like they're good. They're
Imagine
fun.
if he could have done it his own way, though, how much crazier it would have been. Because I still watch anything. Like, what was his last one? Like 23 or it was some
Free
number.
from Hell.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I don't know if I saw his last thing, but yeah, I always try to keep up with his stuff. No, I have like when I do my stuff though, I look for like crazy concepts and like futuristic stuff. So this is definitely right down my alley. Yeah, and I look forward to this thing like blowing up, man. Like I hope it does well. I mean, you
Me too.
deserve it. You've been out there forever busting your ass. So
Thank you.
yeah.
It's true. I really have been working crazy hours and days and weekends and stuff for the last 15 years. So it's like I really want everything to just build up to this movie, and I want this movie to shine, because I truly think if I get the correct funding, it can be something that lifts me to the next level of eyeballs going, oh, we have this $1 million budgeted movie. Alan could actually be a contender to direct it. You know, that's what I want this movie to do. I want this movie to be a game changer. I want people to truly look back and be like, wow, that's a good movie. I can't believe he made it for 30 or 80 grand, whatever I raise. And
Yeah.
I want people to truly like keep it on their shelf in their collection and be like, that's a good movie. My first film was in 2016 is when it was released, and it's called Christmas with Cookie. And
Oh yeah. Okay. I didn't know that was yours.
it's so bad, but people love it because I had a budget of $1,000, and as you know, that's not a lot of money for a movie.
No.
So I made Christmas with Cookie, and I leaned into the fact that it was going to be corny and bad, and we just went over the top with everything, and every actor was just so phenomenal at making it wacky, and it turned into kind of like a cult following where every Christmas, I think this last Christmas I had 20,000 minutes streamed on Amazon for it. And,
Holy cow.
and people just love it because it's so ridiculous. People just like drink with their friends and watch it.
So they're all available on Amazon?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, I didn't know. I would have been watching these this whole time. We should have led with that.
But then there's another one on Amazon you should watch called Patina, and that was a short film I made.
I live to serve. How may I serve you?
That actually, I started writing Alien Planet directly after Christmas with Cookie, but because I knew it was a big movie and it was serious, I don't want it to be campy like Christmas with Cookie. I was like, I need to make something that's serious and good so that people know I can do something good. So I put Alien Planet on pause, and I wrote a 10-minute script for Patina, which is about a killer robot. Basically, it's commentary on having
I've
like an Alexa or a Siri in your home.
Yeah.
And like it's like a warning. It's almost like be careful about technology in your home kind of a thing. It has like a twist, Skynet type style. And so I wrote that, I made it, and it got accepted into 8 film festivals. It won 3 awards, and it did really well. And it's serious. It did a great job. It looks good. It is nothing like Christmas with Cookie. And then once I did that, I was like, okay, now I have proof to the world I can make a great film. And that was a short film because I didn't have the budget. But now I want to do this feature film, and I need the budget, and I have the proof. Not only do I have Patina, but the trailer, we put a lot of time and love into that. So like all these things are me saying, here's what I can do. And that was the point in the process of, and I knew that doing Christmas with Cookie, I knew it was going to be bad. And that's why I leaned into it, because I was like, with this budget, I need to start somewhere just to have a finished product. And I can slowly build up. And that's where Patina, I took a step forward. And now Alien Planet, even bigger step. And when this one's done, I'll go even bigger, so.
That's great. I was just going off of like knowing you that this was great. I didn't even know you had all the extra stuff. No, and I've known of other you've done so many projects that it's crazy to keep up with too.
It's hard to follow. It is.
No, that's a good thing, man. Well, you've done how many different creatures though before 2020? Like 2019 into 2020, I think you did like 4 or 5 different creatures that I know of.
Oh, more than that for sure. Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That I've seen you, because you rarely get a chance to post about it, so. But yeah, that I saw it because just some dark, cool stuff, and then you usually put a clip of it too, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I try to post about all of them just so people can see professional movies, TV, music, videos, commercials, things that are pro. I've played over 60 non-human characters.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
That's insane. Have you done anything with Walking Dead? Do you plan on doing anything zombie related?
I've done 2 Walking Dead things. The first was I was the lead zombie in a Dave & Buster's Walking Dead crossover commercial. It was basically advertising Dave & Buster's and the Walking Dead video game that's there. And when you watch it, you can't miss me. I'm front and center for basically the whole thing.
Dave & Buster's is the only place for zombies. Fight the undead with new games like Zombie Snatcher.
And that one actually was nationwide. I remember when that aired, I didn't know it was airing yet, and my phone exploded. And it was like just people like, I see you on TV right now. And my dad even called and he goes, I was drunk at the bar and I started screaming, that's my son. That's my
That's what it's all about, dude.
and then I did another one that's the same, where a Chevy commercial was for a Chevy truck, but somehow it was crossovering with Fear the Walking Dead. And so you can see me as a walker in that one too. But those are the closest I've come to it, because The Walking Dead shoots in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in LA. And walkers are technically background. So it's not a lot of justification to fly and board someone to a new state when they can just hire people there.
Unless, Nick calls you and he's like, hey, I need you personally out here.
I would love to. Although I think now Fear the Walking Dead and The World Beyond are all in LA, and the Rick Grimes movies. So maybe there's a chance.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's a chance it's going to happen. Even if it's more of the commercial, like it's going to, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's fun.
This was old Walking Dead, but I loved the Daryl Merle relationship. Like, Merle was such a fantastic villain, because not only was he a piece of shit, but he brought social commentary with his racism, and he brought in like family, like blood is stronger than not type of issues, because you saw like Daryl going with Merle and you're like, no, but he doesn't even care. Rick Grimes and the crew cares. Like, this guy's an asshole. So like when he died, I think they lost a lot of great story, because he brought so much.
Well, he's just he has so much depth as an actor also.
Yes.
And that's just me being a fan and watching the stuff that he does. Like Yondu, like that character in Guardians of the Galaxy should not have been that big of a character. Like,
but he's so good. Like,
he's so good. Yes. Dude,
he's amazing. I love Michael Rooker.
Have you ever seen Days of Thunder? I bet you haven't seen that one.
I have not.
Yeah, no, he's actually a cool character in that too. It's like one of the first movies he's pretty old, so it's not his first, but it was back when like Tom Cruise was like fresh on the scene and like all that stuff. So like they're competing race car drivers or whatever, and he has like he has some quotes that I remember to this day, like in my head, that he like said, and I'm just like, he's awesome.
My favorite Michael Rooker quote is from Slither, and I say this to Kaylee, my wife, all the time. She's not a fan of it, but I love to say it. So I'm like, sugar plum.
So good. I cannot imagine living with you every day. We've had rooms together. No.
We did crazy rooms on some of our choir trips, didn't we?
Yeah. No, we had some good times, man. Definitely. No, and again, I'm glad you are where you're at, man. I'm glad you took that leap. And I think putting your own stuff out here, now that it's your number 3, your third movie, I'm an idiot. So your third movie. Now I think it says a lot, and it puts a lot of view out there for the world to view. And I think that takes a lot of heart. And I think it takes an incredible person to be able to put, here it is, judge it. You know what I mean? Like,
and they do. I sent the spec trailer to a handful of industry people prior to releasing it, just to like get feelers and see what people say. And not everybody's nice. You get some things where like, there's one person who he didn't like. He had nothing nice to say, and I was just like, it's like, all right, okay.
I'm just gonna swallow that. Like, thank you.
When you create something, whether it's a drawing, painting, music, movies, anything you create, it's like you said, you are putting it out there, and you're vulnerable because people will judge it and tear it apart, especially since social media. People, I think there's, we've heard it a million times, there's a wall of protection, so people aren't afraid to say anything, which I think is also a good thing as an artist, because if everybody sugarcoats, you'll never grow. Whereas if you get some of those naysayers, then you're going to go, let's try to make it so I never get one. And you will always get one, but you can continue to grow based on what people's criticisms are.
Yeah, the guy who he wrote Sons of Anarchy for FX, I forgot his name, but he's married to Peg Bundy. Like, they're in real life, they're married. But so she's on the Sons of Anarchy and stuff. But he wrote that for 8 years for FX. He came back to them with his Mayans version of it,
and they said
so it's gonna be and they were like, you need to change this, and he had anxiety going into it. And this is a guy that had a show running for 8 seasons, one of the biggest shows on cable for 8 seasons, and he had anxiety taking his script like to them. And then what did he get back? He got back like, this needs to change. Your person that plays this role is weird. Like, and it happens to the top of the top.
It sure does. Like, and I see that every day with editing for the TV shows I work on, because I get network notes. We have to deliver a rough cut, a fine cut 2, and a lock cut. And all of them get notes. And the hardest one is the rough cut, because I'll spend a month, sometimes 2 months, editing this fancy, beautiful piece of television to say, here's what you could air. And then sometimes the notes you get back, you're just like, oh, that took forever to do. Oh,
yeah.
And they want to change it. They want to rip it apart. And they just, that's networks, man.
Do you think that's why streaming is so big? Because now we're starting to see content like directly from you. You know what I mean? From the creator. There's no bullshit. There's no person in between that trying to say, well, I put this much money in and I want to see this different, or you know what I mean?
Yes, I think some of the indier ones that don't have too many cooks in the kitchen, they also aren't getting the money that the big ones are, so there's less worry about the success of it. Like, I think that's part of why, example, FX was so hard, because they're like, if we're going to give you, I imagine if it's Sons of Anarchy crew, they're going to get millions of dollars to make that Mayan show, so they're going to be pickier. Whereas something like mine, I'm solely in charge. I guarantee you, even if I raise $100,000 for this movie, the odds of me making $100,000 back are slim to none. Like, like I will not be making money on this movie. And even that being said, like, paying my cast and crew, buying the makeup, all that stuff, I'm not paying myself. So for anybody who has any question of that, just so you know, this is total passion for me, and I will be taking 0 pennies from all that money going to production.
Unfortunate for you, but it makes the project better, I think.
It will, without question. Without question.
Yeah.
Because if you take and count like how many hats I wear, for example, the spec trailer, I wrote it, directed it, edited it, shot it, like all the time I put into it. If I had to pay myself, oh my God, I wouldn't be able to afford myself.
Yeah, really.
So it's just one of those things. Passion projects.
No, I think that's what makes it. That's what's going to make it great, though, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we can roll in this however you want. Do you have anywhere direct people besides what we already said and what's going to be down in the description? Is there
Yeah.
anything you're working on right now, like today, yesterday?
Yesterday, I filmed a new movie for Full Moon, which they do Puppet
No idea what
Master,
that is.
Ginger Dead Man, those movies.
Where is it on?
Well, they just filmed it, so
Okay.
it'll probably be out, I'm guessing, in 6 months-ish. But
Is that how a lot of stuff goes usually?
Oh yeah, it takes a while to get released.
Yeah.
But I filmed that yesterday, so I'll be excited to see that. There may be pictures coming out today. Who knows? They may have behind the scenes or something. If they did, cool. I'm not going to mention what it is because I'm under NDA at the moment. But
Well, if we can link anything, we'll link everything.
yeah, my biggest links. You know, Full Moon's got a huge fan base. I'm not worried about them getting links. They're good. They have awesome fans. In fact, I want you Full Moon fans to come to me too. So, click.
I'll have to check it out because I have no idea what that is, but I'm down for that. I have tons of friends that are into all the puppet stuff. So,
Yeah,
is it mainly puppet based?
Well, a lot of things have puppets, but once you look up Full Moon, you'll go, "Oh, I've seen half their movies. Like they're huge."
Okay.
Like you definitely have seen their films.
Okay.
They did Puppet Master, Ginger Dead Man, Killjoy, Subspecies, like all these. I guarantee you, once you look at their list, you're gonna go, "Oh yeah, seen."
So if we raise $1 million, can we get action figures?
Oh,
I know some people.
I promise I will give action figures.
I want 2 scales. I want 4-inch scale and 6-inch or 7/8, whatever you want. They could be this big or they could be this big.
I'm a big fan of 3/4 inch. Like, I love those. Like, I'm actually bummed that Star Wars figures that the Black Series has taken over. I'm sad about it because they don't fit.
They're still doing. Yeah, they're still doing 3 3/4.
But it's rare, and they're characters we already have.
Yeah,
Like,
it is a lot of remakes.
They're making the vintage collection for people who are just starting, and they're forgetting that I've been collecting for 36 years. I don't need another Luke Skywalker.
They have better sculpts now and stuff. They want you to come back out and buy again.
It's
but
true.
yeah, no, some of the Black Series stuff is nice. But I love 3 3/4 also. I'm building, like I said, the whole reason why I'm building a whole world of 3 3/4 so that I can have my own. And anything goes there, like DC, Marvel, Star Wars. It doesn't matter. Like it's whatever I want. And
Yep.
you know. So I think that there's a lot of similarities in the stuff we do, man.
Dude,
Like,
if only we were closer, I feel like we'd be trading toys more often.
right? It'd be so fun. So you gotta come back here, man. You can do everything from here. You don't need LA anymore. No, there's so much work out there. Like
All I have
for
to
what
think
you
about
do.
is the snow, and I will not move back to Michigan ever.
Oh, you're talking about how it's like below 0 right now and snowing? Oh yeah, no, it's great, man.
I have only been in snow maybe 5 times in the last 20 years.
It's crazy because the last time I went sledding was with you, and it was on a snow day, and we were like, either you had a Neon or Josh had a Dodge Neon, and we were driving around trying to find hills to go down.
Probably Jay. Are you talking? Oh, Josh Boyer?
Yeah, it was him.
Maybe. I think so. Yeah.
Somebody had a Neon. I remember we're all crunched in it though, and like we were trying to like get over a fence at that water treatment plant.
That was Boyer. Yes, I remember that. Because I think Ryan Hegenauer was with us too. I think.
Possibly. I remember that we were scared. We're like, we're not supposed to go over the fence.
We're such
Like
good
this
shoes.
That place for sale now, so.
That's funny.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember, man. That's like the last time I went sledding. We were in high school and we had a snow day. So yeah, as much as you miss the snow, no, you don't miss it, man. It's so
Dude, I
cold.
can't do it. I like when it gets. It's been in like the 30s and 40s here the last couple weeks.
And you're like, oh,
Dude, I can't take it. and it's only been a couple weeks. It's gonna be like today. I think it's like 70 something, and I'm like wearing a hoodie. You know,
That's so funny. It changes, man. You've been out there forever.
What?
Yeah. I said you've been out there forever, so for sure, yeah. Because you're used to this like 4 or 5 months of just pure cold and ice. Like
Can't do it.
all right, well, we've
Click
run
the links is the point.
Yes.
Click the links.
All the links. Sorry, we rambled, but we're friends, so that's what we're gonna do. And we also don't have to like contact each other all the time to be close still. So I kind of, just with the memories and the stuff that we're doing, I mean, I'm happy for you, man. So
Well,
thank you. I'm honored.
Oh, dude, thank you. I'm honored to be here. Like, I was gonna say, I want to get a custom figure from you. So when this is all done, we're gonna figure out which one I can get from you.
Heck yeah, dude. And I will build it. I will make it happen. Somehow we'll print something from somewhere.
Maybe. What about? Do you sculpt? What if we somehow made a custom Alien Planet figure?
That's what I'm talking about. We'll get someone who can 3D print it, man.
Dude.
We'll get it going. Yeah.
Yes.
I know enough people.
Dude.
We can get something working on. Yeah, dude, it'd be so cool. And I could do like cool shots of them and stuff. And yeah.
Uh-huh.
Heck yeah. I could even get someone else to like do one part of it, another part of it, and then I could like do the shots of it, whatever. Like make it so more people are involved. And yeah, I like pushing other artists and stuff, and that's like why I like doing these type of videos where I can sit down and talk to people. I've done a few, and I have like one hopefully this weekend with someone else, and
Nice.
I really enjoy like the people who I enjoy who are unique to me. I want them to spread their word and use my platform if possible, and whether people like it or not, I'm going to share it. So
Exactly.
people
if they don't
definitely
like it, they don't
jive.
have to watch.
Right, but they'll definitely jive from the toy world to it all. And since you were the biggest toy, yeah, that's so crazy, dude.
I want that
Yes.
$3,000 one, or Spiral or Spirit. I don't even know the company name, but if you're listening, I
It's
want one.
Spirit, right?
I think
I'll have
it's
to look it up
Spiral.
now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, well, thank you, man. I
Thank
appreciate you.
dude. This has been
All
fun.
right.
Hi everybody, I'm Alan Maxson, the writer-director for Alien Planet. You just watched the spec trailer to my film, and it's a story about two alien species that have a history of hatred towards each other. When they both find out that both of their planets are almost out of water, they have to learn to put their differences aside and come together if they want to survive. Alien Planet is a meaningful, practical effect-driven science fiction film in the vein of some of my personal favorite movies like Enemy Mine, Alien Nation, V the miniseries, and countless other sci-fi films that hold a mirror up to society. Although stories like these depict aliens on screen, we actually realize that it's relevant to us, and it makes us think about ourselves as humans and how we don't always treat each other the way we should. The big difference between Alien Planet and other science fiction films is that there's no humans in the story. Earth does not exist, so you won't have a physical connection to the appearance of these characters. Instead, you'll have an emotional connection for who they are inside. And that's one of the most powerful elements in science fiction. This movie will make you look inside of your own heart and see how can we better ourselves as the human race. So with all of that being said, I need your help in order to get it made. I invite all of you to be part of this movie. All of the money we raise will go towards practical effects and makeup to make it feel like you're no longer on Earth. We also need cast and crew and equipment to help make this film look as beautiful as possible. We made this spec trailer on a shoestring budget, so imagine how great it can look with your help. No matter how large or small of a contribution you make, you will have a very significant part in creating this movie. So please take a moment to look at all the awesome perks we have to offer and join our team. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and welcome to Alien Planet.